Hello, Suja. This is Jay Solomon. I'm sorry you're having trouble with getting started on QuickBooks. I'm not sure, as I said in my email, whether you have the right .qbw file, the working company file for India. I did send you a portable company file that I'm now going to show you how to set up on your own system. If you followed my instructions in the email, you should have on your desktop this same file that I am showing here on my desktop, India All Crops. I also have set up QuickBooks Premier Nonprofit Edition 2014. I've already opened that on my system. You'll see that my system opens. I have no company file installed yet. I do have the tutorial company that I demonstrated to you in an earlier video, but we're not going to use that one. We're going to use the one I just sent to you. And again, you will only do this part of what I'm instructing you if you haven't already received a portable company file with all of this information and have it set up in your system. This is a notice that came to me to help improve my color, but I'm going to keep it just like it is, and I'm going to ask it not to bother me again. Okay, so you should be looking at the same screen if you have dual monitors and can follow along. There won't be anything in your on your quick open box, but we're going to go over here where it says open or restore an existing company. If I click on that, you'll see there are three options. The third option is the one we want to take, which is restore a portable company file. I'm going to click next, and it immediately opens up for me to my desktop, and you can see there is the file that you should have on your desktop. This is the same file that I am going to set up on mine, called India All Crops. If I left click twice on it, it brings me to the open or restore company box that's asking me if I want to restore this file. I don't believe you have any working company file functioning in your system, so there's no danger of your overwriting anything important, I don't believe. In this case, you will click Next. Now it's asking you, where do you want to save this company file? You should have a place in your computer or on your network where you are going to permanently store your files. I can go to my library, Documents, and I can actually set up, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to set up a new file, and I'm going to call this file India QuickBooks Files. If I double click on this to open it up, I'm going to name this because it's asking me for the name of what I want to store it at, and I'm going to call mine India All Crops. You'll notice it will automatically put in a .qbw extension, which is your working company file. I'm going to save it. It is now showing me how it is restoring the portable company file and making it a working company file. It could take a few minutes for us to do that. So while this is working, the same for you, I'm going to pause the system so that it can bring us to where we need to be, and I'll return momentarily. Okay, Suja, I'm back, and as you can see, the portable company file has created the working company file for you. We are now looking at the home screen that I showed you about before. There is the right checks option. And just as you had before, it says, in order to write a check, you need to have a valid bank account. Would you like to create one now? The answer to that question is yes, you do want to create one. We're going to number that account 1 with 6 zeros following it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? The account name, we are simply going to call it disbursement account. It's in US dollars. There's really nothing else we need to do. We're going to say save and close. That will then bring you to the screen that we had talked about previously. And the tutorial that I showed you as to how to enter and record data should be fine from this point forward. There is one other item that is extremely important as we proceed, and that is class tracking. Class tracking. So when we enter into the system, we do write checks again. You'll notice there is a section here called class. Now, we haven't set up any classes for India, but my suggestion is that you use the class feature in QuickBooks to keep track of the various expenditures by the type of crop, by the specific crop that you are expending or having disbursements on, having recording expenses on. You will already have this identified, but what I would suggest is just to see where this is in the system is to go to Edit Preferences, go up to Accounting Preferences, Company Preferences, and you will see here that we have already, and I already set this up for you, to use class tracking for all transactions, as well as to prompt you to assign a class. Now, you're not required to assign a specific class. You may find that there are situations in which an expenditure is not directly related to a specific crop. We'll be covering class entry in much more detail in a video training that I will be doing in the future. But for now, we are going to want to set up classes, and the way we can do that is, as an example, let's say you're going to do something for India, let's say India rice. You would add new, and you would name the class rice. You could name another class wheat. And we would name a third pearl millet. So now whenever you have an entry, let's say we'll just pick one here. Let's say you had, well, what do we have? Let's say you had field labor. And the amount of that field labor we'll say is $1,200. We're going to pay to the order of a new vendor. We'll do that on the fly, and we'll call that XYZ. We now can identify which of the crops you're going to assign that $1,200 to. It could be pearl millet, or it could be rice. I mean, whatever the assignment is. Now, we could also add another class, and we could call it general. And that simply means that if it's not specifically identified with any other crop, you can put it into a general category that is not specifically crop assigned. That really should be all that you'll need to deal with right now. I would ask you to go back to January 1 and enter all of your data. You will have issues that I'm sure you'll want to discuss with either Juliana or Olin that relates to how you're going to enter data for your disbursement data on your contracts and on your overhead and on your payroll. What we have been suggesting on payroll is that you can enter just the total amount that you receive, your whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever the payroll is, including all of the overhead charges, or I'm sorry, all the benefits that are included in payroll. Just you can include that as a single lump sum dollar amount in under your general category of payroll. As far as overheads, you really do need to talk to Olin or Juliana. And as far as contracts, as disbursements on contracts are being approved for payment, that's when you would enter them into the system. If you have any other questions, please give me a call. And in the meantime, I hope this will help you get started. That's all I have for now. Bye.